At first glance, my kitchen doesn't look half bad, but what you're missing is tile being used as a countertop and 2 different backsplashes, and also a kitchen that does not fit this space at all. It's definitely a kitchen that was in another kitchen taken out and put in this kitchen. So that's why you're left with all of these gaps and crevices. Now, the one positive thing to note about this kitchen is that the interiors of all of the cabinets were really great quality. They had things like spice racks and hidden drawers. So we took it all down with care, put it in storage in hopes that when it came time to build the kitchen again, we would be able to reuse some of these boxes and find a company who could create all new faces for them and save us a little bit of money. Now, it's obvious that a lot of the drywall was in disrepair and it kind of needed to come out. We also ended up later on taking out the ceiling. So you might wonder, like, why didn't we try to save any of it? And the reason being is because when we bought this house, it smelled like cigarettes, the entire thing. We atomized the space as best we could because, of course, we're not going to tear up the subfloor. But again, this room was already in bad shape and we were like, if we can afford it, let's just replace it. We actually planned to re-drywall the rest of the house anyways because it was all paneling, even the ceiling. So in the process, we also found out that the house didn't have a proper vapor barrier. The insulation in this house was very old, had a paper vapor barrier. So I'm glad that we did it, and we ended up re-insulating most of the house as well. And I just think that that was a great call because, you know what, it would suck to put drywall up and then be like, this house is freezing. If you're interested in watching the drywall go up, the house get painted, the flooring get installed, season 1 of my Rural Reno will be your best friend. I will link that down below and at the end of this video. Crazy that you can just watch all of this in 2 minutes, and that was months of my life. But anyways, so now came the time to bring in the existing cabinets and see if we could essentially make them work, because we really didn't know at this point whether or not we'd have to buy an entire IKEA kitchen. IKEA kitchens tend to be on the more affordable side of things, but not when you're renovating an entire house. I mean, even $1,000 is a lot of money when you really need it for other things. So I was pretty set on being able to use these cabinets. There were a couple cabinets in really bad shape. You see this one? It had like a billion holes in it, and it was the sink cabinet. So I became really open to the idea that even if I have to replace one cabinet, I mean, that's still going to save me thousands versus replacing all of them, you know? Can I just say that the star of this show is obviously Oaks. He is beautiful. He is majestic. Look at him. I just love him. He's like, if you're watching this whole video, he just comes in and out and he's like, pet me, pet me, pet me. For the months leading up to this kitchen renovation, I was so stressed because I thought, okay, even if I reuse the original cabinets, what about the island? The island is going to need to be made out of IKEA. How am I going to do that and have matching doors? Since I knew that I was going to have IKEA bases and these custom bases, I spent endless nights on the internet just scrolling. And I finally found this amazing company called Kitsch. Kitsch offers a high-quality cabinetry line complete with bases, frames, and a wide selection of colored fronts. If you already have an IKEA kitchen, but you don't love how it looks, Kitsch creates cabinet doors to fit IKEA cabinets. It's a great way to change an existing kitchen, or if you're someone like me who has a mix of IKEA and custom, Kitsch offers tailor-made cabinets as well. A lot of people want an IKEA kitchen because it's affordable, and I feel like this is a great way to get an affordable kitchen, but get some cabinet fronts that are a little bit more classy and luxurious. Also, if you have an IKEA God Morgan bathroom vanity, they also make doors to fit those too. And my favorite part about Kitsch, they are a Canadian crafter based in Alberta. Right from Kitsch's website, you can go ahead and pick a couple samples to send directly to your house. That way you know you're getting exactly what you want before you place a huge order. Okay, so my samples have arrived from Kitsch, and this is what they're looking like. So we have 4 wood grains here. This is called Karma, but I think it's too dark for what we're gonna do. It's beautiful though. And then we have a couple here. This one is stunning, this like whitewash. This is called Elemental, just beautiful. But it's too whitewash for us. This, which is a bit too on the white side, I think. It's called Dosha. And then this one, Vega, is the closest to our floor. But I still think we can do better. There's one on the website that's called Natural Halifax Oak. I think that one is gonna be the one. I'm gonna insert a picture of it here. It literally looks exactly like our floor. So I think I'm gonna tell them that one. I wish I had a sample of it. I just feel like we need something with a little bit of dark grain in it for the island, you know what I'm saying? Here are the whites. This is a bit hard to tell on camera, but Michael really wants to do like the shaker style like this. And I love it as well. It's beautiful. But here we have Cotton Mist, and this one is Casablanca. But I think I'm gonna go with the shaker just because, again, Michael really wants that and I think it's beautiful. So I think that's what we're gonna do, everybody. Now that I had faith I could bring this kitchen to life, I went ahead and started building some IKEA cabinets. These were not only going to replace some of the damaged original cabinets, but I was also going to use the IKEA ones to create an island. So my friends, here is what we decided for the final kitchen layout. So we have this long little island thing happening here. So this is gonna be like the cooking area. There'll be an over the range microwave there, and then there'll be a bigger cabinet up above it. So you'll have sort of your cooking area. This will be the sink in here, right above the window, which is nice. Then you will have lots of storage here. This is gonna be the island. It's actually gonna be 3 of these wide, but this one's gonna be the dishwasher, and that's gonna go in a little bit later once the kitchen is being worked on a little bit more. Come around here, lots of space in here. We have this, which is going to be like the eating island. So there is going to be a ledge that comes out to here, which a lot of people might disagree with because of the front door. We are never gonna use the front door, so it's not really an issue. It was either that or move the door over, and we chose not to do that because that was just gonna be an even bigger job. So yeah, it's gonna be like a little bit of a overhang on this side. Not by much, it's just gonna be small, but enough that you can have a little stools under there and sit here. And then when you come over here, this cabinet is gonna be brought out to match this cabinet. But we're replacing the side of this and we're getting all new doors, so this will all match as well, but it's going to obviously be white. And I'm gonna need to bring a lot of color into this kitchen because it's going to be super white, but what we're going to do, floating shelves here, and that's gonna allow me to do like plants and put my vases and beautiful cups and colors on display. Really excited about that. While we waited on the kitchen from Kitsch to be delivered, we had our countertops installed. I decided to get white quartz. I have wanted white quartz. I have wanted a white kitchen, honestly, since I started liking home decor. So this is a dream come true. We had someone come out and measure a couple weeks before this, and today was install day. One last look before my kitchen arrives. We also had the backsplash installed, which you can see happen on a previous episode of My Rural Reno. We just used the same tile that we used in the main bathroom. Look who's here! My kitchen! It's arrived. The kitchen is here. This is so exciting. First look, this is what the island's gonna look like. This should be 2 pieces that go on the island. So, let's see.
Oh my god, it's perfect.
It literally looks like our floor. Like, that's what we wanted. That's a good thing.
That's amazing.
Look how gorgeous that
Oh,
is.
it came out so good.
Look at how gorgeous. It's so good. It's so good. Something you're going to notice about this kitchen is just how many drawers there are. This is a kitchen with a lot of drawers, as opposed to doors with hinges. But anyways, so the way that we applied these door fronts on were we stuck them on, and then once we knew that they were all in their perfect placement, then we ended up screwing them on afterwards. I have to say, this is what truly I feel made the house come together. This making of the kitchen, I mean, I truly was winging it the entire way through and just hoping that it was going to come together. And Kitch really just like brought it home and made this house look like the amount of money we spent. You know what I mean? So if you already have an IKEA kitchen, it's really easy for Kitch to drill where the holes are going to go for your hinges. But if you're like me and you have sort of a mix between the two, it's a little bit harder for them to know exactly where the hinge placement is for them to drill the hole on the back for your hinge. Anyways, so what we used was this Craig jig. And it was the easiest thing ever, and anybody could do this. You just have to attach it into place and then just drill out the hole, and you get a perfect hole drilled every single time. And this was really nice because we didn't have to worry about getting the exact placement and messing it up. So that's sort of how you would do like a custom one. You would drill your own holes and they would just provide you with the panel. So I'm going to let you guys watch the kitchen come together, and if you guys have any questions, definitely leave them down below for me to get back to you. I think my brain has been so invested in this that I maybe forget sort of the questions that I had in the beginning. So make sure you leave them down below and I can answer any of the questions that you have. The most satisfying thing ever was finally taking off the plastic, because I kind of forgot that we got really matte cabinet fronts because they looked so glossy with this protective plastic over them. I left this on until Chris was done the entire house. I just really wanted to protect them from any, dust, dirt, that sort of thing. The next step was we really needed to figure out handles. And you guys, handles are so expensive. I was looking at ones that were like $10 to $15 a handle. I can't believe that that's a thing. That's just absurd, and it wasn't anything special. I wanted to do something that wasn't the typical like big old bar handle. I find that in a lot of flip houses people are doing like black handles, those like bar ones. I love them and think they look good, but I think they're starting to look like flip houses when they all have the same handles. So these are the cabinet pulls that I chose to use. You can see them here on this drawer. I think they look really nice. I have two sizes, so one that's shorter, one that's smaller, depending on the length of the drawer. This door opens like this. It's a corner cabinet. For any of the ones that are going this way, I want them to sit at 2 inches. And then essentially what I do is I take a drill bit that's very, very small, and I want to just pre-drill my holes. On the drill bit, I just have a piece of tape, which tells me how far to drill into the door. I don't want to drill longer than the screw is, and I don't want to drill through the door either. If you don't do this, you'll just have a harder time screwing in your screw. To make sure it's really tight, I'll take a screwdriver and do the last couple turns so that I don't strip the screw. And that is our handle put on. All right, are you ready to see the space after 6 months of renovations? This is the before, a Mickey Mouse glued together, smoke-filled kitchen, and the after. The space did end up being quite white in the end. I mean, a white kitchen is something I've dreamed about my entire life. So soon to come in a styling video will be a huge runner that spans from one side of the kitchen to the other, some beautiful counter stools, and a really beautifully styled shelf. Speaking of shelves, this has got to be my favorite thing about this kitchen. Kitsch offers floating shelves in a huge range of finishes. We got ours in natural Halifax oak to match the island. I'm over the moon happy with the handles that we chose, and with the holes on the back, it gives us the opportunity to easily change them out. I love all of the gold touches throughout, and this sink that we chose is truly a dream for me. It has a removable dish rack and a cutting board. Another thing I love is our matching appliances, all which we found either on Facebook Marketplace or the Habitat reuse store. Like, check out this low profile microwave with a hidden button. The stove has a rack that is on rolling hinges, which is great for flipping food. Michael requested a dishwasher, and we found this one that has the utensil rack on the top. Pretty bougie, but bougie on a budget, since again, this was a Facebook Marketplace find. And on the right side, we have our fridge and the original pantry to the house that Kitsch made look new again. I'm quite literally stunned at what we were able to create with the help of Kitsch. From the wood island wrapped in natural Halifax oak to the shaker doors in Stratus, I seriously could not be happier with the outcome of this kitchen. I want to send a dear thank you to my friends at Kitsch for making this kitchen come to life. I'm not sure where we would be without them. They truly took a kitchen that had great bones and made it beautiful on the outside as well. If you're interested in upgrading your kitchen, definitely check them out. I've put all of the links in the description box. It's also worth checking out their Instagram. I've also linked that, and you can get tons of inspiration from all of the amazing projects that other people have done as well. I cannot wait to style this kitchen and bring in all of the Tasha flavor. Like, truly, I see what a lot of people see, which is a white kitchen, and I know that I'm going to be able to just make it look stunning with all of the things that I have away in storage right now. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly, without you, I don't know that any of this would be possible. Thank you for your support. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!